Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. You know, I use this pen all the time, not this specific pen, but this brand of pen, the Uni Posca pen. I use it a lot in all of my projects, and people often ask me, hey Sophie, will this pen write on, say, ceramic? Will it write on rocks? Will it write on plastic? And you know, I thought it would be great to do a little comparison of what this pen works well on and what it doesn't, and also give you some tips and pointers on how you use it on those different materials. So today we're going to test out the Uni Posca pen on different surfaces. So not only am I going to show you the product with it actually drawn upon, but we're going to give it a wet and a dry swipe test, so you can kind of see what happens after it's dry, whether it stays or whether it wipes off. The other thing is that Uni Poscas have a drying time on certain surfaces. I want to show you this, and all of this will be on my website. But here you can see this is a slicky paper. This has like a finish to it. 0 seconds, it just wipes right off. 10 seconds, it starts to smear. 20 seconds, it leaves a residue but still smears. 30 seconds, again. 1 minute, it's starting to get dry. By 2 minutes, it's completely dry, and you can rub it and nothing will happen. So you should just be aware of that. It works great for like this poster kind of paper or like foam core. It's super, super, super great because the colors stay really vibrant, but know that you have to allow for the dry time. This is tarp, and tarp, as you can see, nice coverage, does really well. We're going to give it the wet test. Doesn't come off. And with the dry test, doesn't come off. So Uni Posca on tarp, excellent. Then we're going to try felt. Now felt is a kind of matted fabric. It's got like all these little fibers. But as you can see, it went on really nicely, pretty smoothly, gave it good coverage. With the wet test, doesn't wipe off. Dry test, doesn't wipe off. And the cork, it did great. It dried right away. I'm going to give it a wet test. Really good. Oh, a little bit of rub off there. So that's important to know. A little bit of rub off there. With the dry test, doesn't come off. Glazed ceramic. I didn't want to ruin my cup, so I did the bottom here. And you see when we give it a dry rub, totally fine. This was really quick and easy. It dried, I would say like a minute. And even before, when it went down nice and smooth. I'm going to give it the wet test and see what happens. Ah, now that is important to see. It does wipe away. So you wouldn't want to use this on something that was going to get wet. So you wouldn't want to use this on a coffee mug because you're going to end up with Uni Posca on your lips. However, if you were going to make this on a ceramic, like an ornament or something like that, you'd be completely fine. Duct tape, and as you can see, covered pretty smoothly, a little bit smudgy in there. And let's see, we're going to give it the wet test. Looks like it's staying on there nice and good, and dry test, completely fine. So on duct tape, Uni Posca works really, really well. Next up is black paper. I love writing on black paper, but I gotta tell you, Uni Posca got absorbed right away. So you really want a black paper marker, not a Uni Posca, unless you like that kind of matte look. And it's, it's definitely been absorbed into the paper. And you know what? This dried like in seconds, and it's not gonna come off. But it's the muted. The colors are muted, not nice and bright like you would get with a pen. Now this is lacquered wood, as you can see, and it went on beautifully, went on really smoothly. It doesn't wipe off. Let's try it with water. Doesn't wipe off. Now there's a plastic bottle for you. It went on pretty smoothly. As you can see, maybe it's a little streaky, but not too terrible. Let's give it the dry first. Doesn't rub off with the dry. Doesn't rub off with the white. I did try it on a metal tin, like an Altoid tin, and here's what I learned. It beaded up. And when it beaded up, I had to really allow it to dry before I could actually go any further with it. Now, it does stay on with a dry rub, and it does stay on with a wet rub. But you just have to know if you're going to use it on metal, you have to give it its own dry time. And the other thing too is it will scrape off if you use your finger. It's probably the best thing to use on terracotta. It doesn't wipe off at all, as you can see, and it looks great. and it absorbs right away and really quickly. This is one coat, this isn't two coats, and it goes really fast. So I was able to draw and then put my other color in right away. It's great. Terracotta is fantastic. Now glass. It went on beautifully. I had no problems with it. It didn't bead up or anything, but check this out. Dry is fine, but when you do water, it starts to wipe off. Can you see that? So again, just like with ceramic, if you're going to use it on something that you want to use for like drinkware or something like that, not a good idea. This is wax. Now, it actually, I thought was going to bead up on the wax, but it didn't, and it actually wrote on the wax really, really well. Now, if you rub it, it comes off, but you have to really rub it to make it come off. So, I mean, for the most part, putting it on wax, as long as you're not going to touch it, it's going to be pretty cool. And then I did use it on a stone, and this is what this is what we use these mostly for, is coloring rocks and stuff. And they work so great on rocks. And they stay even with wet and with dry. They're awesome. Cardboard, likewise, awesome. Fabric. And as you can see, what's nice about this is like a sock with some stretch to it, and the Uni Posca marker stretches with it. Now, I hope you find that helpful. I'm also going to be putting a PDF of all of the different materials that I tested and my results on my website, Sophie-World.com. So if you want to just be able to look at it and see which materials that it worked best on, you can do so. Again, that's Sophie-World.com. There's a link down below. Now, if you like this series, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. And if you've got comments of your own, leave them down below. Maybe there's a product that I didn't test it on. You can even ask me to do it down below, or let me know how it worked for you. For more great ideas, check us out at Sophie-World.com.